From the Rogers Activity Center, it's time for state playoff hockey here on CTN Coon Rapids. I'm Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro, and tonight it's the 5AA section quarterfinals between the 5th-seeded Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds and the 4th-seeded host Rogers Royals. Inside the Rogers Activity Center, and Howie, the teams have already met twice this year. Third times might be the charm for the Bluebirds.
It's always hard, Bill. By the way, nice working with you for my first opportunity, and I've heard really good things about you, so you have a lot to live up to.
Thank you, no pressure.
It is really difficult sometimes to win 3 games in a season. So that this game maybe will favor a little bit the Bluebirds, but you know, the Royals had a really nice outcome in the first 2 games, 4-0 win, a 6-1 win earlier. So this is an opportunity for the Bluebirds to see if they can get past that 2-game losing streak they have with the Royals this season.
And the Bluebirds played really well in their last game on the road against Elk River. So they're coming in with some confidence. They just have to be able to find the back of the net. They're averaging less than 2 goals a game per season. So as always, will they be able to score? That's the key question tonight for CPCR.
Well, and they're out shooting teams, obviously, and not getting the offensive production. Coach Coulter said that's our biggest thorn right now, is putting the puck in the back of the net. And a couple of the players for the Bluebirds, led by Molly Terabeza, as she's got 7 goals and 4 assists. She's one of the Bluebird stars that really need to get this offense going. She, along with Delaney Johnson, also with 11 points both for those 2 players. But Molly is just a junior, so she's got another year to come back, but she's really been playing well here this season, and Coach Coulter said this team's been playing well. We're just not getting the wins that we need.
Absolutely, and it starts with defending. Meanwhile, on the other side, for the Rogers Royals, they are led by their alternate captain, Avery Farrell, 14 goals coming in to lead the Royals.
You know, Coach Westlow told me that she's the hardest worker, one of the hardest workers on this team. She is really a hard worker, as I mentioned, but a very special player. So the Bluebirds have to make sure they know where she is. They can't leave her alone in front of the net. That's going to be very important for CPCR tonight if they're going to get past Rogers.
And Rogers, an interesting storyline with the Royals is they're coming off their 2nd extended COVID break. They've had to take a couple timeouts, pausing during this season to deal with some COVID issues. And the first time they were on the ice for many of these kids was this morning in a morning skate around.
It's always a challenge, and you know, and I talked to Coach Westlow about that, and I said, well, how is the energy? How is the conditioning? He says, well, it's maybe tough to tell at 7 in the morning, but they're going to find out tonight early on, and so those kids that were not here and had to take that pause, they're glad to be back on the ice tonight for this game, but we'll see what their conditioning is like after taking a little time away.
It's hard to tell what'll happen in section playoff hockey, but we're excited to bring it to you here from the Rogers Activity Center. Opening puck drop coming up next here on CTN Coon Rapids. Nice hands, drives and scores.
In order for us to continue participating in athletics and activities,
we need to work together.
Wash your hands often, especially when you're in public areas.
If you're sick, stay home.
Stay at least 6 feet away from other people and do not hang out in groups.
Cover your nose and mouth with a mask or use a cloth face covering.
Help keep us in the game.
Please practice health and safety protocols so we can keep doing what we love.
mask up, Rebels.
Tornadoes.
Cardinals. Bengals.
Huskies. Mask up, Anoka Henderson.
Back here at the Rogers Activity Center, as you see CPCR huddling around their net, getting ready for the section playoff opener. There's the Rogers Royals in their black, blue, and white. The Royals, as the 4th seed, the home team in tonight's contest. Winner of this game will take on top-seeded Maple Grove in the Crimson in the section semifinals. As we take a look at Jim Coltis man behind the bench for CPCR, and you had a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, you know, Jim works closely with us, and we're fortunate that he does so, and he feels this is a great opportunity for his club. You know, they, like we talked about in that opening, get a little more offensive production. I think that's the #1 key for the Bluebirds tonight, and if they're gonna, like I said, if they're gonna get past the Royals.
There's Joel Weslow, the man behind the bench for the Rogers Royals, who come in with a record of 8-7, CPCR 6-12, as we are underway here in Rogers. And right away, the Royals battling forward in the neutral zone, chip it in deep, tracked down behind the net by Kylie Scott. She cycles it up the near side boards. Now Delaney Johnson circles, looking for a long stretch pass. It's flipped back into the zone by Lauren Hatcher. Skated onto by Kylie Scott. She collects it in the far corner. Goes back for Abby Peterson, one of the captains of this Bluebirds team. Tracked down inside her own zone. Hatcher banks it off the near side boards for McKenna Sandberg. The sophomore forward avoids a defender, banks it into the zone. Picked off at center ice by Josie Belster. She goes back for Cameron Messner. Backhanded into the zone by Paige Bremen, the junior forward. Now it's on the stick of Avery Farrell, who we highlighted in the beginning. Just out of the reach of Kylie Scott. Sandberg will pick it up in her own zone and play it out to the neutral zone. Scott hounding Sandberg. Battle for the puck possession in the neutral zone in the early going, and that play is ruled offside.
Well, Bill, you talked about stretch passes, and that's one of the things that Coach Colt has emphasized with me. He says, we're going to have to be able to do that to be successful tonight. The 2 times they've played them, they've pinned their wings against the boards, and that's something they're going to try and do is attack with the center as well. So we'll see how that unfolds tonight. Well,
I'm talking to Coach Weslow before the game as the Bluebirds get it into the zone. Brooklyn Johnson tracking it down, centering pass, and nobody home. And that was a big problem, Howie, against Elk River. They had their opportunities in their zone time centered and whatnot, but not enough bodies in front of the net, and they're already rectifying that tonight. Royals skated out with speed. Avery Wilson held up at the line, but she gets it in deep. Rogers in the midst of a change, trying to catch him out, Abby Ness. And now Delaney Johnson will speed after it. Johnson will get there first, bearing down on net. Her shot goes wide. She collects it off the end boards, picks off the pass on the far side. Johnson back out high for Elena Hedlund. Her shot is blocked down at the line. Hedlund battling with number 24, Emma Rooks, and Rooks comes out with it. Picked off again at the blue line for the captain, number 5, Abigail Payton. Payton loses it. Opportunity in front, and they can't get a shot off. Tracked down to the corner by Jaden Hirsch. She cycles it, but it's intercepted. Chipped back in the zone. They got to come and touch up. Anyway, Coach Weslow for Rogers was talking about how he wanted that aggressive forecheck. And he said, we play best when we are flying and keeping the pressure on teams, not letting them get out of their own zone.
Yeah,
so
he told me the same thing. You know, be aggressive with the puck is really going to be important for them tonight.
Yep, that's certainly what they'll try to do to this Bluebirds team. Nifty little play there to get it to Vreeman. Vreeman forced to the outside by her fellow number 8, Kylie Scott. Scott and Vreeman in a board battle in the right wing corner. Scott bounding puck just through the crease in front of Cameron Nair, who is in between the pipes tonight for the Bluebirds. Her counterpart, fellow number 1, Alexa Backman. Delaney Johnson with some nifty stick work. 13:30 to go first period, still scoreless. Johnson puts it on net. Backman can't glove it. Long pass will go all the way down. Icing's waved off. So Hedlund will track back behind her own net to collect. She fans on the pass, and now a potential opportunity for Rogers. Held in right point, bounding puck, settled, centered in front, and high stick is waved off initially. Thought it might have been called. There's another centering pass. And I believe Mayer actually made a save, so First time she was called into action on the near post. Carried into the zone, Alexis Kruger. She gets it in deep, and she'll try to track it to the opposite corner. Kennedy Bolander gets there first. She tried to backhand it out and went right to number 13, Anna Sherlin, and instead CPCR carries it out. Good pace to this game so far. Banked off the end boards, and ultimately it'll be smothered, and Backman will take the whistle.
You know, both teams certainly, as we talked about, want to be aggressive. Both teams want to play fast here tonight. And, you know, we talked about with Coach Coltis, what are some of the things, we're going to see the replay here. What are some of the other things that you guys need to do tonight to get this win? And he said, just, you know, we got to be solid in net. And we got to have really good D-zone coverage. And we'll see how this game unfolds, if that's some of the things they can do to be successful.
Well, defense has really not been the problem this year for CPCR.
It's offense.
It's offense. I mean, they held Andover to 2 goals in the first couple periods at home, so they certainly can execute a defensive game plan as the stretch pass finds its way to her. She gets it on net. It's steered to the corner, to the end boards. Sherling. They'll try to just pass it out, whirling away Vreeman. Has her pass intercepted by Ness. Abby Ness, chip and chase to the end boards. Centered out in front, it's loose. Bodies on the ice. Delaney Johnson goes down. Brooklyn Johnson picks it up. Johnson on the backhand, cycles it down low for Ness. Centered out in front again. Back for Bolander up high. Johnson tracks it down, gives it to Delaney Johnson, right corner. Back out high for Peterson. Delaney Johnson rather takes a big bump from Paige Vreeman.
Nothing called on that as well.
No, but she gets up, comes down to play the puck. Josie Bolster fighting for her for possession down in the right corner, along with Paige Vreeman, who has 20 points on the season for the Royals coming in. Vreeman will just lift it up out of the puck, out of the zone rather. But a good shift for CPCR. That'll just be helped aside as it's tipped into the zone. Picked up by number 21, Leah Hatcher, and Hatcher will play it back in deep. Kylie Scott, who played so well against Elk River, has a long stretch pass go off the skates of Abby Ness. Ness battling with Hatcher. And neither team finding much room, and there's the first good shot of the game, and Cameron Mayer smothers it and takes the whistle. That off the stick of Emma Rooks.
Yeah, not a shot clock here, which is a little surprising. I thought there would be they'd have one here, but as again, a great opportunity for the Royals. Nice save there. She smothers that puck.
That was actually Ava Johansson, 6 goals and 6 assists for the sophomore. So much like the boys team, Rogers has a lot of good sophomores in this lineup.
Yeah,
again,
we saw the boys earlier in the season, Coon Rapids against Rogers. They've got a nice club.
Yep, they are tough, finishing 4th in the Northwest Suburban Conference as it's swept back in by Peterson. CPCR changing lines on the fly. Scott and Peterson staying out there. That shot by Vreeman is tipped to the end boards. Ultimately, Avery Wilson gets there first for the Royals, but she has it taken away. Loose in the slot. Oh, and a good stick to knock it free by Brooke Del Castillo. Long stretch pass, again intercepted by Bolster, and she flips it back in. So really, Howie, neither team having much in the way of offensive zone time.
No, not yet at this point, but you know, this is a game where you lose, you go home, your season is over. So it'll be interesting to see as this game unfolds, more chances being taken by either club.
Right, both teams just trying to play sound, mistake-free hockey.
Absolutely.
DD pass for the Royals, and there's a mistake. Brooklyn Johnson fires it on net, and it's saved. There's another shot off the side of the netting. What a glorious chance for Brooklyn Johnson, and the puck slides free. It's picked up by Emma Rooks. Rooks works to the outside. Good D by Kylie Scott to turn her away. Rooks still on the backhand, loses the puck, and Scott will carry it out. Scott through center ice, works her way to the outside. 3-on-3 for the Bluebirds. Scott double teamed along the end boards, now out to the corner. Banks it on back. It's flung harmlessly to the far corner for Ness to track down. Out to the right point for Delaney Johnson. Her shot deflected to the corner. Picked up by Leah Hatcher. Held in the zone nicely at the right point. But Hatcher able to pitchfork it out. 8:01 left to play, so just over halfway through this first period. Scoreless game thus far between the 4th and 5th seeds in Section 5. Flung back in the zone by McKenna Sandberg. Far corner battle between Vreeman and Bolander. Coming off the wall and shared to the far circle. Deflected shot off of Bolander's skates. Allows the Bluebirds to exit the zone. Good defense though by Josie Bolster. Take it away. Now another stretch pass finds its way to Brooklyn Johnson. Johnson puts it on net. Steered harmlessly aside by Backman. A lot of cross ice stretch passes we're seeing in the early going.
Oh,
both teams try to find a footing.
Yeah, they want to try and get a breakaway at any point, and that stretch pass can help you do that.
There's a one-timer, hits a Bluebird out in front. Bolander picks it up along the right half boards. Stolen back by number 17, Morgan Hoyer. Again, that cross-ice pass deflects hard to Leah Hatcher. All important for your defensive pair to be wise to those passes tonight as Kylie Scott picks it up at the blue line, drifts back. Finds Emma Olsen, first time we've called her name tonight. Olsen gets through a couple Royals and gains the zone. Backhanded toward the net and steered aside. Pass for Rooks. Rooks into the slot, weaving her way through, and Mayer makes the stop.
Oh, nice stop by Mayer. She stayed with it. Rooks with a really nice move to create some space for herself.
Kind of twisting inside and out to make a space. And the forehand attempt staved.
We'll see it again. Just Bluebirds.
Chance. Brooklyn Johnson, and then the follow-up. But ultimately, it was for naught, and then Mayer keeps it scoreless on the other end. Off the draw. It's helped out of the zone as Ness battles along the near side boards. Bounding puck tracked down by Peterson in the right circle. Peterson goes off the net, centered out in front. They were lucky. Nothing worse came of that as Brooklyn Johnson, or rather Delaney Johnson, recovers. Now she'll cycle it back for Peterson behind the net. Or she'll go back for Peterson. Brooklyn Johnson loses it at the left point. Mayer makes the initial stop, and with Avery Farrell bearing down in her net, decides to melt it down.
Well, I'm not sure if he's watching, but I'm going to give a shout out anyway to my broadcast partner, Joe Yund, who's on vacation with his family, having a really good time and staying out of the cold and very nice warm weather where they are at.
Hope he's enjoying it.
I
know
he
place where
is.
They don't play hockey.
Exactly. I know he's enjoying it.
That's good. That's good. Bounding puck settled down and picked up by number 12, Josie Bolster. She drifts back behind her own net. Her pass is stolen. She collects it along the end boards, tries to backhand it out. Good job by the Bluebirds to keep him down there momentarily. Bolster recovers. Gets it to Vreeman, and she'll chip and chase in deep with 5 minutes to go in the first. Backhanded along for number 23, Jaden Harrer. Pass stolen by Bolander, who had a nice game herself against Elk River as well. There's a shot gloved comfortably by Cameron Mayer. Mayer comes in with a record of 4-9, a 3.29 goals against average, and an .885 save percentage, as that was comfortably done.
Yeah, made the easy glove save and forced that face off to her right.
Johnson takes the draw and wins it. Back for Kylie Scott. She loses it immediately for Avery Achterkirch. And ultimately Johnson recovers and carries it on out. Left it for Scott. And Scott gains the zone. Chips it to herself off the boards. Does that again, looking for a pass. Hounded out there by Achterkirch. Out to the left point for Delaney Johnson. Scott tried to get to the backhand, but it was poke checked away. Cross ice pass as the Royals regain the zone. Oh, good poke check away again by Delaney Johnson. Johnson in there with Hedlund doing battle. Puck slides to the right wing corner. Scott goes hard off the board and all the way down. He won't get there first, so icing is the call. That'll stop play.
Yeah, you know, both teams, obviously, we're sitting at 0-0 at this point in the game, but both teams, I think, would love to get that first tally of the night, kind of get that momentum in their corner early on. I know Coach Colt is certainly, with the scoring troubles that they're having, would love to score first here and put a little pressure on the Royals.
No question, and you know, you never know what that can do to settle a team down as well. Run around the boards. Bounding puck nearly picked up by Abigail Payton. Instead, it'll be her sending it cross corner. Molly Terabeza, whose name we haven't really called much tonight, gets in on the action. There's a shot whistling high from Bolander from the right point. Slides up the near side boards. Carried back in deep by Rooks. She goes around the boards. It's loose in the slot. Del Castillo's pass is tipped to the corner. Cycled back down low is Del Castillo on the forecheck. Carried out nicely, though, by Poyer. She flings it in deep as Rogers gets a change. Intercepted by Del Castillo, battling with Farrell along the far side boards. Puck picked up and shared for Hatcher. Tries to redirect it in front, and a nice pad save made by Mayer. Icing waved off. That was a beauty from Mayer.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, Coach Colt has said goaltending is going to have to be strong for us tonight. Big save, as you mentioned.
Picked up with speed by Avery Farrell. You can see her skill. She's got 14 goals and 9 assists for this Rogers Royals team. Dumped in and chased after by Emma Olsen as they go deep into the lines. Flipped to the corner by Scott for Erica Thiessen to get to. She backhands it in front. Scott's backhanded attempt. Couldn't get much on it. Ultimately, it is picked up. Cross ice pass, bounding puck. Evades everyone. Riemann trying to get there first. Battling with Hedlund. Hedlund's got her tied up. And ultimately, the puck finds its way onto the stick of Scott, who backhands it out. Flung back into the zone by Bolster. Hedlund gets there first. She goes up and around the boards. Hatcher plays it around. Ava Johansson goes underneath her stick. Here's an opportunity. Oh, good poke check to knock it away by Scott. Continuing her fine defensive play as it's swept out of the zone by the Bluebirds with just 1:12 left to go in the first.
Yeah, Kylie's been playing really good defense all season long.
Opportunity backhanded, doesn't reach the net. That was off the stick of Abby Ness. Peterson lifts it into the zone as the Bluebirds set up the forecheck with less than a minute to go in the period. Johnson fed out in front, but only Bolster was there. Puck slides all the way back down to the CPCR end for Bolander to skate onto. 34 seconds left before our first intermission. Bolander moving left to right. Has it poke checked away by Payton. Delaney Johnson gets there first. 17 seconds left. Johnson's pass hits a skate and deflected back down low. Brooklyn Johnson on the backhand. Feeds Delaney Johnson, and her shot is deflected up. Finally controlled by the Royals, and now it's Rooks. 1-on-2 as Rooks gets into the zone, puts it on net as time expires, but it was saved by Cameron Mayer.
Yeah, nice first period in terms of just, you know, kind of feeling each other out and seeing what they want to do. Obviously, they've played each other twice. Rogers getting the best both contests, but this is an evenly played first period.
Yep, I don't think Jim Goltis can be too mad about what he saw from his Bluebirds in that first period. We'll take a break and talk about that first period coming up shortly on CTN Coon Rapids.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Rogers Activity Center. Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro in our first intermission of a scoreless game between Rogers and CPCR, and it was a pretty back and forth, interesting first period of hockey, Howie.
It really was, and I think it was evenly played by both teams. I'd be interested to see, I wasn't keeping track, unfortunately, what the shots are in that first period, but I also think those have to be fairly even. So I think the coaches go back to the locker room and say, you know, we like that energy that they brought in the first period. They're going to look for more opportunities. I think you'll see a lot of those stretch passes that we saw in that first period continue by both teams.
And we'll see some of these opportunities right here as Cameron Mayer made a couple of nice saves, but I would dare say that CPCR had the better opportunities. Like this one from Brooklyn Johnson, and she fired over the net, and then Delaney, and then it's kind of flung on net by Abby Herr. See a long stretch pass for Rooks, weaving in and out, maybe the best chance of the game, and then Delaney Johnson had one as well later in the period, but ultimately we're scoreless. This one tipped in front. Those are always dangerous. You never know where those are going to go, but ultimately, you know, we thought it was going to be a cagey defensive affair, and it so far has been that way. But if you are CPCR, you've lost 6-1 and 4-0 to these guys, and you have to feel pretty good about being scoreless after one period of play.
You really do, and both teams are looking for some momentum coming out in the second period, and I think that first goal is really going to be big for whichever team scores it, because it does give them a little momentum. This could be a game where it's a 2-1, 1-0 type of situation. So a goal, you know, in that second period by either squad is going to be big.
Yeah, we know how defensive the Bluebirds can be, how solid they can be defensively. So it may be, it probably will be a low-scoring game, and ultimately that first goal could be the difference, and we'll see if we can find that first goal in the second period. We'll have puck drop in that second period coming up shortly from the Rogers Activity Center here on CTN Coon Rapids.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Here, ready to start the second period of play from the Rogers Activity Center, or the RAC as it's colloquially known. Bill Hupp and Howie Shapiro on CTN Coon Rapids. The Bluebirds will switch sides as Alexa Backman pitching a shutout thus far, but so is Cameron Mayer on the other end. So it's been an entertaining game of hockey. We don't have an official shot counter, but we were estimating maybe 7-5 in favor of
the Bluebirds. Yep. You know, the one thing I miss with COVID is that we would interview coaches between periods and kind of get a flavor of their thoughts. Unfortunately, we don't get to do that here, at least this year.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to know what Jim Coltis was thinking after that first period, but he had to be pretty pleased hanging in this game against the 4th-seeded Royals. Thrown on net, steered aside by Mayer to the left wing corner. Getting there first, Abigail Payton. There's a sharp angle shot, and it's gobbled up by Mayer.
Yeah, Mayer's just, you know, being solid so far in the action that she's seen, and again, just a shot point blank, and she's just able to make sure she smothers it.
Yeah, it banked down low, and then coming off the boards, and Rooks, who can score goals, she's got 10 on the season, second leading goal scorer for this Royals team. Off the draw, Puck slides behind the net. Played up the far side boards. Dug out. Peterson rings it around. It's taken off the wall by Kylie Scott and carried out. Scott leading a 3-on-2 for the Bluebirds. They gain the zone, put it on net. It's loose in front, jamming at the rebound, and a whistle was blown. I'm not sure. That seemed early.
That was a quick whistle.
That was a quick whistle. The ref obviously lost sight of the puck, but we've got a penalty coming up. And indeed, Kylie Scott whistled for the infraction. Goaltender interference, or I'm not sure.
Oh, she's poking at that. Well, the puck's loose. I don't. Did she retaliate?
She did. They didn't see the first shove.
Yeah,
it should be coincidental.
Always get the second. You always get the second one, and it was not much of a contact there. I don't like that call, but I'm a homer.
No, it's a tough call for the Bluebirds, but they go on the penalty kill. They're 76.3% this year. Rogers nearly 17% on the power play, 16.7. So ultimately, Kylie Scott sits in the blocks. First penalty on either team tonight.
Well, this is the first good opportunity here for the Royals, skating a player extra if they can get an opportunity to score on the power play.
And actually, those penalties have canceled each other out. The Rogers player goes for slashing.
Oh, okay.
And that is Leah Hatcher.
I didn't see that initially. So
beg your pardon, Cameron Messer goes for slashing. I didn't either. Scott goes for roughing. And it's 5-on-5 on the ice. So never mind those penalty statistics. Good save by Mayer to turn it aside. Bodies on the ice. Bolander gets there first. Cleared but not out. Centered out in front. Backhanded to the line. Hatcher puts it on net. A lot of play in the middle part of the ice in the early going. To the left point, coming off the wall. It's loose in front. There's a good chance. Good save again to deny Kruger. Kruger gets it back, plays it out to the right point for Bolster to put on net. Hits a player out in front. That's Hedlund who takes it. And finally, it's smothered and covered by Cameron Mayer as the puck slid into her crease.
Yeah, in this period, a little bit of pressure now by the Royals, and Mayer's doing a nice job of just making sure she keeps that puck in front of her, and when it's loose, just make sure she brings it in. They're going to see a good opportunity for the Royals there. Mayer gets her stick on it.
Face off to the right of Mayer. He is won by the Royals. Out to the point, thrown on net. Mayer not sure where it is. It's bounding behind her own net. To the near side boards. Tough sight lines at certain points here.
Yeah, there's for sure.
At the rack. Tipped into the zone by Ness to give chase. But getting there first is Anna Sherling. Now it's the Bluebirds hoping to get some extended offensive zone time. Brooklyn Johnson plays it around. Ness trying to get there first. Intercepts the pass along the far boards. Down low for Delaney Johnson. Delaney Johnson on the backhand. Rims the circle. Lays it out for Shelby Julian. Not much on the shot. Finds its way to the stick of Emma Olsen. Sherling plays it around, long stretch pass. There it is for Abigail Payton. Payton streaking in, shoots, left pad save made by Mayer. Maybe Mayer's finest stop tonight, early in the second period. Now it's stolen in the slot, winding up. Solo save by Mayer to deny McKenna Sandberg. Puck still in the possession of the Royals. They come off the wall. Another shot up high. Mayer makes a stop. Save to the corner. Peterson whacks at it. Johnson will just go high off the glass and up and out of the zone. Now Brooklyn Johnson trying to get there first, but icing is the call. But how about Cameron Mayer coming up big for the Bluebirds?
She really has, and there was a lot of pressure by the Royals down in the Bluebird end, and she definitely came up with some big saves here so far in the second period. A big opportunity for the Royals, but they couldn't get the puck past Cameron Mayer.
You're seeing a couple of them. That stretch pass intercepted and another save. And she had some point-blank opportunities to stop, and there she grabs the puck again. But definitely Rogers coming out of the intermission with a pep in their step.
Well, she's been the star of this game so far for either squad because she's made some nice saves especially here in the second period.
Yeah, no question about it, and Rogers winning a lot of the draws now, so they're having a lot of offensive zone time in this second period. Through traffic out in front. Cycle back down low. Along the left wall, it's Avery Farrell. The alternate captain, Turney, coming off the boards, plays it back down low. Now out high. Sandberg banks it off the near side boards for Freeman. Now it's picked up by Erica Tyson. Headland lifts the stick nicely. Now she gets tripped, no call. So still no penalties, no power plays anyway, as Mayer again has that in her breadbasket.
They're letting them play here so far tonight, and there's been a couple of we thought maybe questionable calls where they could have called penalties, but they did not.
As you can see, Headland here, no call.
Nope.
Stick lift, and then she gets tripped up.
Now that could have easily been a call.
Yeah. But ultimately off the draw, both players are out of the box. Long stretch pass finds its way to Terabeza. Moves in, a save made by Backman. Backman stopped Terabeza on the breakaway.
Now Molly with a great opportunity for the Bluebirds, and both goaltenders coming up big here in the second period.
Yeah, no question. That's that long stretch pass that you talked about, Howie. Moving into the zone on the backhand, putting on the brakes, centered out in front, fanning on the shot. It's loose and picked up by Delaney Johnson, who will go off the boards. Cleared but not out. That shot flashed to the corner. Coming down to play it, Kruger. Gonna go hard off the glass, but again not out. Scott has her pocket picked by Shirley. Rogers can't keep it in, so they've got a touch up. They'll play it back in as Scott drifts back to the goal line. Goal line extended anyway. That pass tipped behind Jaden Herr. Intercepted by Rooks. Now Rooks with speed through center ice. Rooks works to the outside, watched by Peterson. Rooks circling the zone. Now leaves it for Shirley. Back out to the left point for Bolster. Great camera angle here to see this board battle.
The only way we're going to see it.
Delaney Johnson and Kylie Scott in there. Scott only as far as Shirley, and it's loose in the slot, and it's picked up by Abby Ness. Again, cleared but not out. Flung on net by Rooks from the point. And again, Mayer has to be alive to those opportunities.
Oh, yeah, you have to constantly be aware of your surroundings. And again, Rooks just pushed it to the net.
And this is a Terabeza chance. And look at this, goes forehand, tries to beat her over the shoulder, and just a few inches more, and she would have gone top shelf with that.
Yeah, and she did get a glove on it as well.
Again, the arm stays down.
Wow.
And they are really letting them play here as they carry it in with Farrell. Rogers re-enters the zone. Again, the board battle on the near side. Played back down low by Bolster, centered, nobody home. Ultimately played on out, tipped in the zone by Delaney Johnson. Bounding puck whacked at center ice into the far corner. Delaney Johnson tried to give chase on the forecheck. And Johnson and Scott, Peterson, they're all going to see tons of ice time tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
For this CPCR team.
No question.
Nicely done, held in. And then it's tipped by Vreeman. And Vreeman carries it in. She puts on the brakes, stood up. Banked off the end boards by the Bluebirds. Good job passing it out as Delaney Johnson carries it in. Johnson weaves to the slot, trying to find a cutting Dana Carlson. Board battle ensuing with Emma Olsen for the Bluebirds in the right corner. Olsen trying to tie it up, but ultimately it is carried out by Rogers. Backhanded in by Headland. Again, the bounding puck not settled quite yet. Thiessen, the alternate captain, sweeps it around. Messer will play it out of the zone. Intercepted at center ice by Peterson. Dangerous now as Scott calmly recovers and weaves her way through traffic. As she'll gain the zone herself. Scott trying to walk her way through and has it intercepted. Tara Beza circling. Swept in the zone momentarily by Scott. A lot of neutral zone battles. A lot of teams just trading possession at this point. Tara Beza hounding Patton. And again, they come off the wall. Bolster. Feels like they've played a lot of this period on the near side boards.
They really have.
As Patton goes across ice. Board battle now is hers. Crunched to the boards by Kruger. Look at this, not giving an inch. And Scott, no surprise, comes away with it for CPCR. Peterson decides to dump it into the corner. Slides around the boards where it's picked up by Poyer. Morgan Poyer skating out with it. Tries to evade Scott. Scott gets in her way, good defensive positioning. And we play on. Banked off the near side boards for Brooklyn Johnson. She cuts in. Johnson gets a shot on it. Following up the rebound. It's loose in the slot, but nobody was there to pick it up. Vreeman carries it out for the Royals. Vreeman with speed on the backhand. Drives the net. Loses it. Collects it again. Back out on high. That shot blocked nicely, and now an opportunity for CPCR. Whacked cross corner. Hatcher gets there first, hounded by Delaney Johnson. 6:18. Or rather 6:45 to go in the period as that puck's deflected up and into the Rogers bench. So I think the draw will come out in the neutral zone.
Well, Bill, these are two teams that definitely do not want their season to end. You can tell by the way they're playing. You know, they're scrappy and they're playing really tough, and their goaltending is stepping up at the right time. And this is a situation for either team. The longer this game stays scoreless, that first goal is really going to be important.
Yeah, no question about it. CPCR with a good chance there, as we saw. There's a shot and a save by Mayer, denying Sandberg. Tara Beza racing after it. Now a chance for Rogers. Sandberg, glove save comfortably made by Mayer.
Yeah, she couldn't get a lot on that shot, but she just put it on net, and as you mentioned, Mayer with the easy glove save to force that face off to her left.
And if you're Mayer, you have to just be feeling super confident right now because you're making stops with your glove, pads, blockers, anything you need to keep this a scoreless game. And that's certainly where CPCR wants it at the moment. 8:05 and counting remaining second period. So we're more than halfway through this game and still neither team has cracked the score sheet. Pass up ahead for Brianna Qualley. First time we've called her name tonight. She backhands it off the end boards and that forces Backman to melt it down.
Yeah, that puck just pinned against the side of the net. She had to make sure she brought that in to force the face off as Qualley was right there on the doorstep.
Got to be careful with the live boards. I'll never forget calling a third place game at State where a kid shot it off the boards and it went off the back of the goalie and in.
Oh.
He shot it so hard. It was unbelievable.
You'll take it any way you can get it.
Yeah, no doubt. Back down low as CPCR has some extended zone time. Ness back out to the right point. Flung on net, doesn't even reach Backman. Delaney Johnson doing a nice job to keep it down there. Centered, nobody home. Sharp angle shot saved by Backman. Loose in the slot, dropped on back. Through traffic, Scott's shot goes whistling wide. And now we've got our first penalty. And it's going to be a cross check, and I think it's going to be Delaney Johnson.
Yeah, you are correct.
For the infraction,
yeah.
As Johnson maybe getting a little frustrated, battling for position in front of the crease.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of battling in front of that net, and again, you're going to see it here coming up. I believe you're going to see it here coming up where they're going to call the cross check, but a good chance for the Bluebirds. Pushed where there it is. You see it right in the middle of your screen. That's where they called it anyway.
That it's probably a good call, but they've certainly let other things like that go.
Yeah,
earlier in the game.
Sometimes when you're right in front of the net and you're right in front of the official, they'll just the officials feel compelled, they must call it.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'll repeat my statistics. 16.7 power play percentage. Off the side of the post, it's loose in front, and they score!
Always when that puck's in front of the net, you're so careful on that rebound coming out, and the Royals are going to draw this first blood here tonight, and that's a huge, huge goal for Rogers as they were able to get on the scoreboard first.
Abigail Patton right on the doorstep, and the senior captain gets her 4th of the season, as we'll see it here early in the power play. Just tipped off the stick, and then it was loose in front, and Patton in the crease was just right place, right time.
Absolutely.
And that's going to the net. That's solid hockey. As they tried to clear it, Carlson tried to backhand it out. It just went right to Patton, and she scored. So some bad puck luck for CPCR, and Rogers has the first goal tonight.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking for the Bluebirds because, you know, they've been playing so well, and to give up that goal off the rebound really makes it difficult.
So it's Patton assisted by Anna Sherling at 11:51 on the power play. And we have a 1-goal game now as, again, bodies in front of the CPCR net.
Net came off its moorings, so they're blow the whistle, make sure they reset it.
Some games you see that quite often. We have not had one of those yet tonight as, again, crashing the net. Good team defense by Peterson and Scott right there to close down the path. Again, loose in front, and really, I mean, that was as bad a cross-check as on this end.
Yep.
But ultimately, it is what it is, and they score on the power play. Neither team has scored even strength tonight. You've got 4:21 left in the second period, and the Royals have a 1-goal lead. Tara Beza gets it back. Tara Beza moves in, shoots, and a left pad save made by Backman, and then she sort of reaches out with the glove to snatch that one.
Yeah, nice job by Tara Beza to get in and get a nice shot in from in close, but
yeah,
good,
she's
good
had the
stop
best
by your
looks.
tender. Yeah, she has.
She's had the best looks, excuse me, Howie, of the second period for CPCR, and obviously one of the leaders, girl we highlighted in the opener, as the draw's won by the Royals, and Rogers looks to skate it out. On the backhand, Poyer gets it in the zone. Farrell, who's had kind of a quiet game, changes places with Freeman down low. Freeman, goal line extended, loses the puck, and CPCR clears. Delaney Johnson, and Poyer again intercepts the pass. Carried in by Farrell for Freeman. Good stick to knock it away. Delaney Johnson will skate onto this one. Johnson down the left wing, puts it on net. Backman makes the save, lost it for a second, and then found it right at her feet. So,
yeah, she was fortunate because that puck came out for a quick second.
And she didn't know.
No, she did not know.
As
and
we see.
Unfortunately for the Bluebirds, there wasn't anybody right there to poke it home. As you're going to see, well, you're not going to see it from that angle, but you're going to see her scramble to make sure she brought that
Ness
puck
was
in.
crashing, but ultimately she had snagged it before Ness could get there. Long stretch pass as Rogers regains the zone. Bolander sucked around by Hedlund. Tara Beza loses it. Sharp angle shot blocked by Hedlund. She's had a nice game tonight.
Yes, she has.
Hatcher tipped into the zone by Kruger. Hedlund will drift back to collect. She'll go off the end boards with 2:48 left. That shot's deflected. Good shot blocked by Del Castillo. Out of the reach of Tara Beza, and icing is the call. Well, I'd say the second period has still been nearly as even as the first.
It really has, and you know the goal that the Bluebirds gave up was one of those fluky things where the rebound just came out and
goes off the side of the post.
There at the right time.
Yeah. And they tried to clear. It was on a Bluebird stick, but ultimately just not cleared quite far enough. So Delaney Johnson wins the draw to Scott. She goes up the wall. It's thrown on net, tipped in front, and a good pad save made. Bolster nearly redirected it in for the Royals. And obviously CPCR needs to get to the intermission trailing by just a goal.
Yes, they cannot afford to give up another.
No. Work to the outside, Peterson. Chipped up ahead, and now a 2-on-1. Brooklyn Johnson gets there, and a good stick to knock it free by Bolster.
Yeah, Bolster with a great move because Delaney Johnson was all alone.
Like the vaccine shots, it would have been Johnson and Johnson in on goal.
You know, we're just taking one shot, I take it.
That's right. They would have taken just one shot. Oh, we are a great team, Howie. Comes along the far wall. Now it's back, and Bolster checked up against the boards by Brooklyn Johnson. Johnson comes off the wall, tried to center it. Only finds Royals in front of the net. Rooks will go hard off the glass and ice the puck. And that's not a bad strategy in high school hockey when you can get a change.
Absolutely. You know, you need that change anyway, so let's ice it. You're going to see.
Nice tip.
Yeah.
Again in front by.
Nice pad save.
By Peyton, and again, great pad save. And for my money, I think Peyton's been the most dangerous Rogers threat tonight.
Agreed.
Obviously, she scored the goal, and then she nearly got her second. And what a pad save made by Cameron there. Again, Rogers in the zone. Drop for Vreeman. Peyton, or Mayer rather, stands up to make the stop.
And not a lot on that shot. And Mayer, again, as you mentioned, is coming out of her crouch and just pulling that puck in.
As you see the chance here, just good drop pass for Vreeman, and Mayer is not allowing too many rebounds tonight. Obviously, the
one rebound.
And the way that was off the side of the
right.
post, so it's tough. But Tara Beza skates onto this one. Ollie Tara Beza moves middle, shoots high. She gets her own rebound, centers, and nobody out in front. 1 minute to go in the period. Now Rogers with a 2-on-1. Sandberg across for Vreeman, who misses the net.
Oh, what a chance there.
Now an opportunity here for CPCR, just out of the reach of Sandberg. Right idea from her, but just out of the reach of not Sandberg, Tara Beza.
Yeah. That's again an unfortunate situation. Now it comes back into the Bluebirds' end with very little time remaining in this second period, just about 42 seconds.
So the Bluebirds have to retain their focus for the next 43 seconds or so. Trying to keep this a one-goal game heading to the second intermission. Shot blocked by Scott. Tara Beza, or rather Brooklyn Johnson, tries to clear but can't. 30 seconds left in the period. Battle along the near side boards. The Johnsons and Scott. Peterson goes back for Delaney Johnson behind the net, and she will fling it up ahead, finding Brooklyn Johnson. Johnson into the zone, forced wide. Centers out in front, pad save made by Backman.
Wow.
Oh, a glorious chance for Erica Thiessen, but Backman made the stop as time expires here in the second period.
Boy, that was a huge save at the end of this period to keep the Bluebirds scoreless.
So close, and they have had opportunities tonight to crack the scoreboard.
They have.
But ultimately, some nice saves by Alexa Backman. They've missed a couple shots, and they have yet to get on the score sheet after 2 periods of play. But it's been a solid performance tonight in terms of playoff hockey as we see this chance and some second period highlights. And this is the goal, obviously, on the power play. And that's the only goal they've scored tonight. So we head to the second intermission. Rogers on top of Champlin Park, Coon Rapids, 1-0. Nice hands, drives to score.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Abigail Patton's power play goal with 11:51 of the second period is our only score of this game thus far between the 4th-seeded Rogers Royals and the 5th-seeded Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds. And Howie Shapiro, the Bluebirds are hanging tough. They're playing really well, and they had 10 shots in that period. They just couldn't find the back of the net with any of them.
Well, and that's been their trouble most of the year, and unfortunately it's carrying a little bit over to this section game. We talked about it. First goal is going to mean a lot here tonight, and obviously Rogers able to get on the board first off that rebound off the post, and so they're going to carry that momentum here into the third period. They're going to have to come out feeling pretty good that they've got that 1-goal lead. They're certainly not going to rest on their laurels, but they're going to want to expand it.
Cameron Mayer is playing a whale of a game.
Yes.
In between the pipes for the Bluebirds, as you see the save there, and then an opportunity for Molly Tarabeza, breakaway save made by the Rogers goaltender. And then here's the goal off the side of the post, tried to clear it, and Abigail Patton just in the right place at the right time to tap it home. But they had their chances here, including that save again by Backman, and then the opportunity late, Tarabeza once again shooting. And but defensively, the Bluebirds are settling in, they're playing fine, and Mayer is keeping them in this hockey game. They just have to convert on the offensive end. And we certainly something that we talked about in the pregame. It's something that they've had issues with all season, obviously averaging less than 2 goals a game. But their season comes down to this third period, whether they can get on the board and then continue to play defense against this Rogers Royals team. But ultimately, they have a single period left to keep their season alive in 2021.
Well, the Bluebirds have had those opportunities in this first 2 periods. Again, and we talked about this, haven't been able to cash in. It's going to put a little more pressure, I think, on the Bluebirds here in this third period, because they know they have to score to keep their season alive. So, and I know that the Royals will know this too, so the Royals will come back and see if they can put a little added pressure on. If they could get a 2-goal cushion, that would be huge in this third period.
Yeah, obviously they're happy just being down a goal after 2 periods of play, but ultimately it sets up for what should be a very exciting and entertaining third period of play, and we'll have that for you coming up shortly here on CTN Coon Rapids.
Oh, it's so nice to all be sitting down together. You can tell me something they did today.
I drew a horsey.
Good for you, son.
I started smoking.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I'm selling bongs out of our minivan.
I got a tramp stamp.
I'm getting implants.
I'm dating your brother.
Uh-huh.
I'm cooking meth in the basement.
Great idea, kiddo. That's why you're so popular at school.
Back here, ready to start the third period of play. The season on the line for the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds. Howie, in that second period, the Bluebirds were outshot 16-10 by the Royals for a 2-period of total of 23-14. But obviously they played pretty well defensively. Cameron Mayer has stopped 22 of those 23 shots she's faced.
Yeah, she's been playing really well tonight, so this is something that she's going to have to continue here in this third period. But, you know, the pressure now is on, as we mentioned just before we went to break, the pressure is on the Bluebirds here to even this score up.
And how do you think they can create more chances?
Well, you know, I think they're going to have to try and just, pinch, and they're going to have to pressure from the inside a little bit more, and it's just a matter of getting quality shots on net as well.
Expect both teams to play with a great deal of urgency in this third period of play as we are underway. And Ness goes down along the far side boards in front of the Rogers bench. It's outletted to Emma Rooks. Banked off the wall. And carried in now by Delaney Johnson. Her pass is deflected and Rooks carries it out. Rooks winds up and fires one hard off the glass. Always rising from above the right point.
Yeah, we've seen a lot from Rooks tonight where she's been shooting from way outside.
She's got a really heavy shot.
She does.
Part of the reason is that off of Johnson is thrown to the far corner. Picked up by the captain. She comes off the wall. She loses it. Vreeman, and in fact, it goes all the way down for Hatcher to track down. Hard on the forecheck, just out of the reach of Johnson. Picked up by Farrell, who's been held in check tonight. And we've got an offside. We really haven't had, other than the obviously saves and stuff, really haven't had that many stoppages in play.
No.
Just one penalty, and obviously Rogers took advantage.
So you realize now that you said that, there's going to be plenty of stops in this third period.
Yes, and
just saying, we're putting it out there.
The old announcer's curse. Tracked back, it'll be collected by Cameron Messner along the wall. Bluebirds on it. Played to the far corner for Tara Beza. Tara Beza tied up. Battling down there as well as Del Castillo. Tara Beza comes off the wall. Good poke check to knock it away by Farrell. Farrell has her stick lifted. Tara Beza keeps it in the zone. Again, doing battle with Vreeman. She checks Vreeman into the boards. Vreeman without a stick. And ultimately, Farrell able to carry it out. 2-on-2 for Rogers as they enter the zone. Farrell poke checked away nicely by Headland. That outlet pass is intercepted by Poyer. And she will ring it around to the opposite corner. Coming down to play it, Johansson. She goes off the wall to herself, puts it on net. Handled comfortably by Mayer. 14-14 and counting left third period. Still a one-goal game in favor of Rogers. Johnson tracks it into the far corner. Brooklyn Johnson. Rogers fans wanted a roughing call, but none coming. These refs, as we've said all night, have let them play.
They really have.
As the Royals gain the zone once more. Shot goes off the end boards. Peterson gets there first. Scott evading defenders down the left wing. Now crosses over through the neutral zone. Scott working her way to the outside, tries to walk through, and that has not worked tonight as it's thrown on net. And Alexa Backman grabs it and hangs on.
You know, Alexa Backman, you know, she hasn't faced as many shots as her counterpart, but she's played well as well. And as we're going to see the no call here.
And I think it was a good no call.
I agree.
I think it was a good no call.
Yep. Fortunately,
nobody got hurt in the process. As off the draw, the Royals carry it out. Payton wide for Rooks. Rooks throws it off the side of the net. It's loose in the slot. Cleared but not out as Rooks tracks it to the right corner, battling with Olsen. Olsen and Tyson in there. Backhanded out to the neutral zone. Flung on net cross corner by Messer. Scott comes over to pick it up on the far wall. Pass rink wide for Emma Olsen, who backhands it in and gives a chase. Messer gets there first, just out of the reach of Brianna Qualley off the bench. Again played in deep by the Bluebirds. Centered out in front, not finding Del Castillo. It's loose again. There's a shot on net, tipped to the corner. So again, Emma Olsen doing a nice work on this shift. It's played it back in deep by Kennedy Bolander. Vreeman will get there first to wall off Del Castillo. Backhanded but not out. Vreeman comes away with it. So many board battles in this contest as they gain the zone. Sandberg puts it on net, handcuffs the netminder Mayer, but she ultimately makes the save. Has a good job by defensively and they shot off the side of the net. Farrell's pass was rifled on net by Vreeman in the blink of an eye, but ultimately hit the side of the net. So it remains a one-goal game with 12.5 minutes left to go in regulation.
That was a huge opportunity for the Royals that they couldn't capitalize on, but Farrell with that beautiful pass.
Turned over once more. That again handcuffed Mayer, but she makes the save to the near side wall. Battling there is Avery Achterchurch. Headland defending against her. Cleared out of the zone and all the way down, and icing is the call.
That time the Bluebirds just wanting to get a change, clearing the puck down the ice for the icing, and the face-off will come back into their zone, but they just wanted to make sure they got some fresh skaters on the ice.
Cameron Mayer the first star tonight for CPCR.
Yes.
As they search for that all-important game-tying goal. One to the corner for Peterson off the draw. She leaves it for Brooklyn Johnson. Tipped into the zone by Ness, so icing waved off. Johnson gets there first, but that near post was covered by Backman. Now it's Rogers that gains the zone. Work to the outside, Ava Johansson. Tied up by Scott. Achterkirch. Swept around to the near side corner. Kruger gets there first. She has her pocket picked by Scott. It's flung back in deep as Peterson will drift back behind her own net. Scott back there, she goes around the near side boards and out. Payton circling away from Brooklyn Johnson. Abigail Payton, the goal scorer, regains the zone. Has it defended as Scott knocks it away. Long pass up for Brooklyn Johnson. Nobody there, she'll go off for a change as she gets it in deep. All about communication right now, Howie.
It is, and that's what they needed. They needed a full change there.
Bounding puck. Tracked to the corner by Bolster, who's had a nice game defensively for Rogers. Again, Bolster will track it down in the opposite corner. Pass it for Rooks. Rooks, long stretch pass just out of the reach of Payton. Intercepted at center ice by Shearling. Bolander will track it down behind her own net. She'll pass it just out of the reach of Emma Olsen. Played back in by Bolster. Bolander. That's again tipped out of the zone, and they just keep bringing it out, and it gets brought back in by Rogers, rather, as that save was made nicely. Thrown on net again, but doesn't get all the way through, and this time Mayer snags it and decides to hang on. And we will tell you what's next here on CTN Coon Rapids.
Nice shot of the trees.
Sports night. Yeah, look at those guys.
Yeah, well, you know
them.
we will have the first sports night without Joe Yundon, and maybe ever, I believe. That so it's it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun.
Centered in front and ultimately flashed harmlessly wide. Played out to the slot, not off the stick of Hatcher, and an opportunity now as Terabeza skates onto it. Molly Terabeza fires, a stick goes crashing through the crease, and ultimately the save was made by Backman.
Well, Terabeza is the Bluebird that's had the most chances here tonight.
Vreeman works her way to the outside, trying to walk her way through. Stood up by Peterson. She goes to the end wall. Has her pocket picked by Poyer. Or rather, that was Del Castillo. Tipped away by Del Castillo. Flash to the opposite corner. Battle with her as ultimately Kylie Scott races away from Avery Achterkirch. Tipped into the zone by her. She'll go off for a change and allow Scott to chase. Midway through this third period of play, still a 1-0 lead for Rogers over CPCR, as that's nicely poked away by Abby Ness at the blue line. Flung hard off the near side boards for Scott, who will go off for a change. Bolster gets there first. Picked up by number 13, Shearling. Shearling carries it into the zone. He tips it to herself, warding off Bolander, and Bolander comes away with it. Cross ice pass out of the reach of Brooklyn Johnson, who gives chase. Ness there for support as well. Off the bench, it's stolen back at center ice. Both teams just kind of trading turnovers at various points as Rook steps in from the slot. Her shot driven down by Bolander. Good shot block there. Brooklyn Johnson, or rather Delaney Johnson, off the bench. The captain kicking it to herself, weaving her way through. Could have been a tripping call, there was none. Instead, it's swept into the zone by Bolander. Now coming out with it, Farrell. She gains the zone. Her shot wild and high off the top of the glass. Back behind the net, Peyton looking for a pass. The captain centers it. Doesn't get all the way through. Still in the right wing corner, and that puck goes up into the crowd. So we get to take a breath here.
Well, at least you do anyway. I want to give another shout out to Joe Yen. He just sent me a text. He's watching from Cancun, and that's not Cancun, Minnesota. That is Cancun in Mexico, and he's having a wonderful time, I am sure. And but we want to give a shout out to Joe. Bill's doing a phenomenal job, but I always miss
Joe Young.
I always miss Joe when I'm not with him.
Backhanded attempt, and they score! Off the draw, they put it on net. Mayer made the stop, but ultimately that backhanded attempt was put in, and the goal scorer is the girl we highlighted at the top of the show, Howie, Avery Farrell, the leading goal scorer for this Royals team, gets her 15th of the season.
Yeah, and that's such a big goal for the Royals in this situation with 7:17 remaining. Now that 2-goal cushion, we talked about it at the opening of this period. If they can come up and increase their lead to 2, it's really going to be difficult for the Bluebirds to get back into this contest.
Yep, no question about it. As you saw the goal there, on the backhand, just snuck it inside that left post. Another opportunity, and that goes wide. And again, that was Farrell. Thrown on net. You wonder if they're going to start jumping. Royals are going to start jumping with a 2-goal lead, feeling good. You talked about momentum, right? And right now, it's all in favor of the Royal blue and white.
Yeah, they have all of it at this point, and that was huge. And so, you know, that gives them that little added boost of confidence here now with, you know, under 7 minutes remaining and up by 2 goals.
Off the draw, Delaney Johnson wins it back off the end boards. It's intercepted by Rogers. Played out high to the right point. Through traffic, nearly redirected in by Achterkirch.
Scoring for your Royals at 9:43 in the third period. Number 6, Avery Farrell.
Avery Farrell.
With an assist to number 8.
Assisted by Vreeman. So Farrell and Vreeman, 2 of the 3 starting top line for this Rogers Royals team, combined for their 2nd goal, the first even strength goal of the evening for either team. And what a big goal it was, as CPCR has an uphill climb now, trailing by 2 goals with 6:06 left to play.
Yeah, they really do have an uphill climb in this situation. They're not getting a lot of offensive production, Bill, in this situation, and that's what they need. They need a goal here relatively soon if they want to stay into this contest. They need a little bit of momentum and a little something to feel good about here in this hockey game, and a goal relatively soon anyway would give that to them.
And to be honest, the ice has been tilted in the favor of Rogers in this 3rd period. I think the best chance CPCR has for a goal is one of those long stretch passes in transition with their speedy skaters. So we'll see if they can make that happen as Brooklyn Johnson plays it up. The power play might be a good thing for the Bluebirds if they can manage it.
Would be a very good thing.
Kylie Scott working her way, puts it on net, forces Backman to make a glove save. And that's something else I think they could do, is start putting more pucks on net, as Scott
they have to.
Has her pass deflected. Now a potential chance as Rooks gains the zone. She'll just whack it off the end boards and go chase. Cycles down low with the Royals a 2-goal lead. Coming off the wall, sharp angle shot. Glove save made as Sherling put it on net, testing Mayer. And Mayer doesn't take away from what she's done tonight, because she has really kept the Bluebirds in this hockey game.
Well, she really has, and you know, and she's given up a couple of tough goals, especially that first one that she gave up. Not much she can do on that one, but that 2nd goal was just a solid play.
Tara Beza with Ness ahead. She'll just chip and chase, trying to get past Hatcher. She gets to the end boards first. Board battle as Ness wins it. Back to the right point for Scott. She puts it on net. Rebound loose in front. They're jamming at it. And the goal has been knocked off its moorings, so they stop play. But that was a spilled rebound and a real opportunity for the Bluebirds.
Yeah, and they were trying to push that one behind Backman until that net came off its mooring, but they were doing a pretty good job of just trying to poke it behind her.
Yep, so crashing the net. And I think maybe some more bodies in front to not have her vision be as clear might be a good idea as well. So certainly Jim Coltis wanted to share some thoughts with the ref as the draw will come out to the left of Backman. Freeman comes in to take it against Terabeza. It's won by the Bluebirds. Out to the right point. Shot blocked. And now a potential chance here for the Bluebirds. Good poke check away by Scott. Out in front, and Mayer comes over to make the sliding stop. It was a Royal on the doorstep, and she came over and shut it down. Now Terabeza tracking down Poyer. Center, there's a shot and a great look. Ultimately, the save made as Ness couldn't crack the score sheet. Ness gets it back in the slot. She'll go off the far boards. It'll be collected by Farrell, who will skate it out. Farrell with speed. Oh, and a good poke check to knock it free by Bolander, who's really come on as of late. Collected at the blue line by Hedlund. Stretch pass is intercepted again by the Royals and played all the way down. Icing waved off, so Hedlund will get there first with 4 minutes to play in the third period. Brooklyn Johnson finds Thiessen. She chips it to herself, trying to get past Hatcher. Hatcher gets there first. Johnson. Centered by Thiessen out in front, just underneath the stick of Delaney Johnson, who goes crashing to the ice.
What a great chance there for the Bluebirds.
Played to the opposite corner for Peterson, who's got Achterkirch on the doorstep. Ref gets in the way, sharp angle shot, save made, and a second save made by Cameron Mayer before she's able to freeze that puck right at her near post.
Yeah, there were a couple of Rogers players right there looking to try and poke that one back in, and Mayer able to make sure she brought it in.
Kruger just bumped into the ref coming off the wall. That's why you could hear this groan emanating from the Rogers parents as Del Castillo goes back, rings it around, in fact, for Thiessen. They get it out of the zone. Thiessen stapled to the wall by Kruger. Kruger carries it back in for Rogers. Scott in the opposite corner, wheeling away from Johansson. Nifty moves by Scott as she carries it out. Gets by Rooks. Scott through the neutral zone. On the backhand, wants to drive the net. Cuts back inside, just couldn't get the shot off. 2:48 left in CPCR's season. Down 2 goals. The winner to advance to play top-seeded Maple Grove on Thursday. Rooks up for Sherling. We talked about how the rest versus rust debate coming off Rogers' second COVID break, and they don't look rusty. They look quite rested.
I haven't seen any of that tonight, Bill, and they knew coming in, and especially those young athletes who were on pause for a short time, they knew they wanted that last chance to come in and get into the section. And Coach Weslow, certainly got to be proud of his squad at this point, playing really well. I think, Bill, coming into this third period, the Royals have done a great job of controlling it.
Yeah, no question about it. We talked about how well the Bluebirds have played defensively, but obviously throwing a shutout right now, Rogers has played very well defensively as well. And right now, in 3 games against the Bluebirds, they've given up 1 goal. As we see Coach Weslow drawing up a defense. The draw will come in the left circle of the Royals zone, and a timeout was taken by Coach Coltes, Jim Coltes, to draw up a play because obviously the Bluebirds need a goal and they need one now.
They really do, and time's definitely not on their side with 2:32 remaining in the contest and down by 2, and so. But it's been kind of their Achilles heel all season long. Is they've got shots, they've had shots, but they haven't scored goals. And obviously, if you want to win hockey, you've got to score goals and play solid defense. And they have played the solid defense. They just haven't clicked offensively, and especially here tonight, they haven't done what they've needed to do to put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, they've certainly had their chances, especially in transition, a couple breakaways, and it's been a combination of lifting the puck too much, so missing the net, and also the fine efforts of Alexa Backman, who has got to be upwards of 25 saves now, unofficially. So the draw will come out to her right, and this is one of those opportunities where if you're Coach Coltes, you draw up a play.
And you pull the goaltender.
You pull the goaltender, you get the extra attacker on, and you try to get a quick shot off the draw. You win the draw, get a quick shot. Delaney Johnson does win the draw, back to Terabeza. Shared far side to Scott in front, and that shot flashed wide. They had bodies in front, but couldn't tip it in. Battle along the near side boards. Still in the possession of CPCR. Delaney Johnson goes back for Scott. Wrist shot through traffic. Again, missed the net. It comes up the boards. Played back down low by Peterson. It's loose in front. They're jamming at it. And ultimately, it's covered by Backman at her near post.
She got a piece of it. And that puck did kind of squirt loose a little bit because it was right there at the side of the net. But the official blew the whistle.
Yeah, they've been quick with the whistle when it comes to that.
They have.
Just one penalty called tonight on either team. And it was obviously the crucial one that scored the game's first goal. Again, the draw one forward this time. Rogers gets to it first. A couple bodies down behind the Rogers net. Battling hard for it. Tara Beza trying to win, trying to dig it out against Avery Farrell. And they're fine with just tying up the puck along the boards with 1:45 and counting left to go in the third.
Yeah, they're happy letting that clock tick away.
Yep, no question as Farrell comes away with it. She'll go hard on the boards, and it's off the stick of Scott and out of the zone. Thrown toward the empty net, they miss. Peterson tracks back to pick it up. Tipped into the zone and chased after it by Bolander. Bolander to the opposite corner. It comes to Avery Wilson. Or rather, that's Bolster. Opportunity flashing wide. Track to the opposite corner by Tara Beza. Tara Beza goes hard off the end boards. Only as far as Bolster, who lifts it out. 6 attackers out there. 6 skaters on the ice for CPCRs. There's a minute left in this 5AA section quarterfinal. Entering the zone with speed. Delaney Johnson puts it on net. And that's saved as she goes to the ice. That puck slides all the way down. It's iced, misses the net. So that does stop the clock with 38.5 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and that's fortunate for the Bluebirds, able to stop that clock. Obviously still trailing by 2 with, as you see the clock, 38.5 seconds remaining. But
that was just a terrific stick in the pass in the shot lane by Leah Hatcher to get a stick on it and deflect it up, because that would have been on net. That would have forced a save, but ultimately, as the draw is won back, played out to Scott, center point, to the right circle, over the stick of Del Castillo with 30 seconds left. Board battle along the end boards. Delaney Johnson trying to dig it out. 19 seconds left to play. Delaney Johnson centered in front, and it flashes wide. Erica Thiessen nearly got the game's first goal for the Bluebirds. Brooklyn Johnson from the right point. Her shot is blocked. 5 seconds left. It's flung on net into the Bluebirds' end, and the whistle stops play with just a half-second left.
That figures half a second as they're going to bring the puck back down to the Royals' end.
So CPR's season will come to an end. They'll finish with a 6-13 mark, the 2021 campaign. But a lot for Jim Coltis and the girls to feel proud about.
Yes, absolutely, but a disappointing end for them, because they knew coming in here they had an opportunity, and that's going to do it.
And that is indeed going to do it. The final whistle sounds, and Rogers is moving on to play top-seeded Maple Grove at Maple Grove on Thursday night. The 4th seed defeats the 5th seed here at home by a final of 2-0.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that the Bluebirds certainly don't have anything to hang their heads about. They've played tough in all their games. The win total wasn't where it needed to be for Coach Coltis and his squad, and I know they're disappointed that the season ends this way against a team that they felt they've had a pretty good shot against coming in here tonight. And you're right, their season will end, and the Royals will go. They've got a tough task in front of them playing the Crimson of Maple Grove.
Yeah, no question about that. And, it's for the Bluebirds, they lost 6-1, then 4-0, then 2-0.
So it's getting better.
That does show growth over the season as a pair talk on the ice. Vreeman and Scott, a couple of number 8s chat. But ultimately, they were competitive. in just about every hockey game they played. And as we know, the Northwest Suburban Conference, one of the toughest conferences in the state.
Well, and they get their situation handled with goal scoring. It could be a totally different season for the Bluebirds. Unfortunately, it was kind of their Achilles heel all season long, just not enough offensive production. And and as you know, in this conference, you're playing teams with a lot of firepower. And unfortunately, if you can't keep up with them in goals, you're not gonna win the hockey games. And so Coach Coltis' season will come to an end in his squad, and he'll go back to the Blackboard for a season for next year.
Yep, and they'll return players like Molly Terabeza and Abby Ness and Kylie Scott. So really only a couple seniors on this team, but ultimately they will return some firepower next year. That'll do it for us at the Rogers Activity Center. For my broadcast partner Howie Shabiro and the rest of our CTN Coon Rapids crew, I'm Bill Hupp saying good night from Rogers, where again the final, the Rogers Royals defeat the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds by a final of 2-0. You've been watching state playoff hockey on CTN Coon Rapids.